Good evening, folks. It is 8:30 Eastern on Monday night, and this is Tales from the Film Set. I'm Scott. That's Day. That's Ryan. And basically, as always, bringing you what's going on in the movie industry, in the theater industry, from our own experience, our own, pain, suffering, and misery. And in this case, because October is right around the corner, it's time for our monthly Cash or Trash, which I'm really excited about. I love this more than pretty much anything else we do. I love the shit out of Cash or Trash. I really do.
Except for the fact that we're going to be talking about scary movies, which is the bane of your existence.
Yes. Hey, I'm wearing a devil shirt. Does that count?
I mean, Jersey Devil.
Yeah,
I don't know Giselle with this virtuosity shirt sweater.
Nice.
Well, see, here I'm just, throwing up the woo.
NHL preseason, so Devils are up 5-0 on one of their split squads, so fine. Before we get into Cash or Trash, news broke earlier today, which I need overnight, which I need to discuss real quick, that the WGA and the studio execs may actually have a tentative deal that will last for 3 years, and tomorrow will be voted on and most likely will pass, meaning writers go back to work. I don't do anything yet, but at least they're starting.
I mean, it's better than nothing. At least it's like, on the right track of things going through. I know they have to go through a bunch of different votes, and tomorrow's just the start of the voting process, and then you still got to have like the East, West, and the, everyone vote about it from all the different sections. But look, if they can get something handled perfect, then at least some production can actually get back underway, especially when it comes to like the talk shows. This way, Drew Barrymore is not going to be chastised anymore, or
Bill Maher for that matter.
The late night pundits going ahead and doing their thing. I even heard that there is a possibility that if this goes through, SNL will go back on schedule and go back into doing their Saturday night things, though they may not have hosts. It may just be like the cast and then writing skits for themselves.
Do you really count any of that stuff as skits at this point?
I mean, now it's better than nothing, which is what you have.
I mean, right now, I'm going to be honest. Between talking about the talk shows and SNL, you're not really selling this, this deal that well.
Well, because that's the unfortunate thing about it. Even though the writer's strike itself may end, because now there is the SAG-AFTRA strike, that's still going to halt a lot of production.
Right. Not much. I don't, I think it's one of those things that SAG kind of joined the party just in solidarity. So it's still my belief that SAG will come to a deal fairly quickly. And the writers can still go back to work, start writing scripts for, Law and Order or whatever they're going to be doing, and build up that collection while SAG is being like on strike. And the productions, I think it's going to be pretty quick on that side of it. I really do.
Well, one can only hope. I mean, obviously they're striking for different reasons, but it all kind of centers around the same issue of the studios wanting to go as cheap as possible and current AI and future AI making it possible for them.
True. Being a stand-in, though, I have at least some degree of protection there because you can't AI a stand-in.
Well, let's talk about a couple of years down the line, and like we always say, like Philip DeFranco always says, the worst AI is as bad as it's going to be. It can only get better from here on out.
Oh yeah, 100%. But the point being is that since they use me as a body double to set up the cameras, you can't really I don't know. Can you AI a stand-in?
I mean, anything could be possible. There might be some way of them going ahead and just 3Ding like something on the screen that actually puts placement of something, some structure, some being, some person, in order to have light looking like it's reflecting off of it.
This is why we do pay-per-view MMA at Stream Punk Entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what
our first event made coin on that. So, yeah, these guys were just talking about that before the show. Go ahead if you want to turn that tangent real quick.
Possibly a script that might have been written by AI, with as bad as it was.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, of course, but let's go to Expendables.
Well, I mean, we do have a review of Expendables from Davion himself, who took the bullet, literally, to see that movie. And
my expectations were high, ladies and gentlemen. My expectations were high.
And so was probably half the going audience in order to watch it. But still. How was it really?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I told you I was going to go on the show and explain how this film was. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I really take back the fact that I said this movie was going to be on cash.
You did.
I
You know,
feel
I
like
gotta revisit these things. I really do.
Mm.
I really think I said this film was cash. And I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Don't get me wrong. You can't blame the actors. You can't.
I mean, you can maybe blame Stallone to a certain extent. This is his franchise.
Even to a lesser degree, slightly Statham too. Because
Yeah.
are those the only two that are in?
Mm.
Actually, no, Dolph Lundgren, I think too.
Dolph Lundgren.
Those are the only three that I think are in. That have been
Randy Couture.
Randy, yeah. Although he is such a minor character, does anybody even notice he's there?
Yes, he was there. You noticed him in this film, so it wasn't like he wasn't there. God help me say the right things because I don't want to be in the future. But I'm going to be as honest to the audience as possible. It was perfect watching it, but I'm going to say that's going to be the first and only time I'm going to watch this film.
Kyle with a Wall Street crash reference.
No, it's just the fact that there was a lot of stuff that wasn't explained, and then the whole story with it was colluded. Like,
so they weren't expendable. They weren't explainable.
Yeah, it was just all over the place. I'm sorry. Lionsgate, the movie was all over the place.
Here's what I'm going to say. To me personally, I think you and I agree on this. I think you said something. To me, I ranked them 2, 1, 3, and not having seen 4. You know, I think 2 had that perfect blend of the action scenes because you had Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, and Chuck Norris all together fighting Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is like 80s, action scene orgasm right here, hardcore. Right. The first one was unique because it teased it. It never saw this, so you knew what was coming. The third one, they replaced so many characters. Antonio Banderas is in there, Harrison Ford. They added a lot and they got rid of a lot, so it didn't feel as Kelsey Grammer, I think, was on the third one. I liked Mel Gibson as the villain role. I think that was really sharp. But after that, it was kind of like, okay, now what? You got no Terry Crews in this one. You got no Arnold in this one.
Well, that's the thing. How many of the people that they introduced in the third one came back for the fourth one?
But
Wesley Snipes wasn't in this one, right?
No. Let me explain something to everybody.
No.
With this film, you expect the traditional cast. You expected Stallone, Lundgren, I forgot his Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Andy or I forgot. I keep getting his
Randy
name.
Couture. We talked about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got no Cruise in this one.
You got no Cruise and you got no Jet Li.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what happened to those characters? You got to explain. Like, did they die? Did they basically retire? What happened?
You always kind of assume that they died at some point because you see the dog tag.
Explain to me. They should have explained that because there was nothing to remember them by or something. And then not only that, what about the new cast of Expendables like Ronda Rousey, pretty much the whole UFC characters, people that can somewhat act. But it's just the fact
that the only character that they actually killed off and left killed off was Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, I hate that scene though. The knife in the neck. Van Damme.
Well, I was saying it to see what they said.
Okay.
No, because you're not going to say anything about Liam Hemsworth?
Sorry.
I did not even say it. I didn't even see that one. I didn't even see the reference.
All right. Fair.
It's just that it was a lot of convoluted stuff that was in this film that it was just forced down people's throats. Like, oh, we got 50 Cent. Oh, we got Megan Fox. Oh, we got.
What's she been up to these days?
Oh, we got this.
We got dudes from the raid who didn't
Let me
live
ask you
the
this.
raid.
Do you think it was we have 50 Cent and we have Megan Fox, or we have their social media?
We have their social media, to be honest.
Yeah, because like I said, in this case, it's you keep recycling these characters and in the process recycling their Instagrams. You know. And that's where I think it hurts a little bit because you lose some of the stability when you have so many characters going through this thing.
Right. And not only that, I understand what happened. What happened to Ryan?
I don't know. I think maybe he was offended by the fact that I said they're recycling characters. So anyway, he'll be back.
All right. So
Go
it
ahead,
was
please.
just a lot of stuff that was in this film that made it not a great film. Like it could have been the most amazing film if they would have done everything like I actually instructed or said about my complaints. I want to say instructed, but
well, do you think there's? I mean, I would say there's probably also too many characters. So you're forced to find time for each one of them.
no, because it was really a short film. Like this film was super short. Like it was an hour and 40-something minutes.
Which in this day and age is like 8 minutes.
Hoping that me leaving would have stopped the talk, but no, you're still on this movie.
No.
No, see, we stopped and waited for you to come back so we can continue.
Right. So it was just it felt like it did it felt quick. The film did feel like it was just like one point and it was super fast. Like this film was super fastly done. Like it wasn't no time, it wasn't no execution, it wasn't enough explaining about the two missing expendable characters. The people from the raid, both Tony Jaa and the guy, I forgot his name. Forgive me. He was a good villain. It's just that I didn't like how they gave us a second surprise villain in this film.
Spoiler.
And then turn around and he just get massacred. I was like, massacred. Like you was thinking this epic fight between Jason Statham and the guy. I forgot his name too. The one that
clearly didn't make an impact if you're just like, I forgot this guy, So
it's like, okay, and then all of a sudden from the heavens you got Stallone in a helicopter blasting the guy away with a freaking helicopter chain gun. And you're like, really? That was the lame. It was just him, and you just blasted him with a chain gun.
Well, when you think about the last ones, was it in? Where did it take place in Texas, or is that a reference I don't get, or is that a gun reference?
It was it in Texas? No, it wasn't in Texas. It was on or like a boat that was heading towards the mainlands of the United States.
Huh.
Oh God!
I mean, it could have been in Texas because Texas doesn't allow abortions, and that's what this should have been.
Whoa!
Wow, Ryan! Wow!
Whoa!
Wow!
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow! Holy! Do you know what this movie pulled in this weekend?
How much?
According to Box Office Mojo.
I'm gonna guess.
Wait, don't even say
I'm not looking. I'm gonna guess.
Oh wow!
Less than 15.
There's no way it can't be accurate, dude. No.
Wow. No, that's pretty accurate.
That's accurate.
But the thing is,
considering you had two horror-oriented movies the weekend before, and both of them pulled in about like only 17 million.
And football season.
And this did not have the hype. It did not have the promotion. It did not have the reviews.
Well, see, apparently the problem is also,
it definitely made less.
When you put a 4 in the middle of your title, you're just guaranteed failure. Fanforstic, Expendables, maybe that's the curse.
No.
You're like, no, it just sucked.
It was just because I saw who the people that wrote
letters like letters and numbers like numbers.
No.
Expendables.
No, I saw who the yes, up with with that classic house. No, that's not the classic house party. That was the remake. We're not going to speak of the remake. The remake was horrible. They should have never did that. LeBron James, how dare you disgrace that film? But reverse the flop.
That was the only star power that film had. Disgrace it.
Oh, Texas. Okay. On that note, should we actually move over to the horror and the Cash or Trash?
Oh yeah, let me just end it like this.
Yes.
Audience, like I said on my video, that's my own personal critique after seeing the film.
And
I say, see it for yourself. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. And keep it rolling because we're going to the next topic. I'm done.
Yeah. By the way, actually, your review actually did really well too. I forget what the numbers were on it, but in the meantime, basically, we are going off to, at this point, Cash or Trash time. First movie we're going to be breaking down of the 4 tonight is going to be Exorcist Believer, a direct sequel to the original one, starring Ellen Burstyn. In this one, we have Jennifer Nettles, who surprised me a little bit. She was the one, if you remember from the Bon Jovi song, Who Says You Can't Go Home, that duet. She is in this movie about 17 years after doing that song with Bon Jovi. So, anyway, the budget on this thing is $90 million.
Good for her.
What do you think?
I'm going to say this. I got this right. We all grew up watching The Exorcist, or some of us covered our faces watching The Exorcist. Some of us probably was in the kitchen, so-called, watching The Exorcist. Some of us finally got our pants, had to take off our drawers because of it.
This is why you wear brown pants when you watch this movie.
That's you. That's not everybody.
No. There's people. There was people, not me, but there was people that had to change their underwear because of The Exorcist. So, with the effects of the original film, the film is a cult classic because of the impact and the way they basically showed how things are going with a possession. We have a sequel that took how many years, Scott?
50. 1973 was the original.
50 years in the making.
That picture is still creepy as hell, though. I'm sorry.
It's still no. Like I said,
I really wanted to do a Steve Harwell reference. By the way, thank you, Kyle. I wasn't going to, but I considered it.
But I am going to say this, ladies and gentlemen. If it lives up to the hype of the original Exorcist, I will say cash. If it lives up to the hype.
So in this case, because of the fact it's 90 million, by rules, in our rules, you have to double it. So making 180 would be enough to consider it, not a bomb, but at least something. I personally think it will clear 180, but I don't think it's going to do it by much. So I will say it's cash.
Yeah.
But 220, 230, I don't think it's going to be the bomb of what the next thing's going to be that we're going to do.
Right.
But or I'm sorry, the boom that the next one's going to be. But I don't really see it doing that well, all things considered.
Right. No, and I agree with you. Like, that's why I said if it lives up to the hype and it stays into the Halloween aspect, it's definitely going to be cash. But if it becomes cheesy and people see that it's trying too hard to scare people, then that's the only way this film could go to trash. But I'm going to put my ducks in a row and I'm going to say cash, though.
Same here, but again, I'm not really. I say it with a little bit of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Leslie Odom, I don't think is strong enough to carry this, but will it be Dial of Destiny bad? No. Will it do okay? Yeah, it'll be all right, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's just going to crush like some of the stuff we've got upcoming.
Yeah. Now, Ryan, what do you think?
Oh, this is not making its money, unfortunately. This is a movie that is going to go ahead and try because it is the Halloween season. But let's put it like this: if there was a movie that wasn't already added to this month that is going to soak up a lot of theater time,
although they're
then I
different
would
genres and different
say it had a
demographics,
chance.
though.
Yeah, regardless of the people that's trying to bring into the theater, the simple fact of it is that it's going to take up theater time that would have been devoted to it.
True.
If this one particular movie that we will be talking about wasn't going to be taking up that much property, real estate in the theaters, then I would say it has a chance.
On Friday the 13th.
But right now, I don't think it's going to have the broad stretch that it's going to need to make it a hit.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate because really, of this month, there's only like 2 horror things actually coming out in theaters. The rest is, off-genre stuff, playing to different audiences. And you'd probably be better off going on streaming and checking for things.
One reason I think this is also going to hurt this is because the one thing that's coming up at the end of the month, what's coming up at the end of the month is far more well known to the millennials and Zs than The Exorcist is. Eventually when we're going to get to Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, you ask, a kid under 30, 35 even, if they know Five Nights at Freddy's, they do.
Yeah.
So The Exorcist, people were like, okay, I heard of it, but I never saw it. And I think that's going to hurt this one a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
I don't.
Yeah.
I really say not as much because you still have people that seen the original first one, and they're curious of how they're going to how this is going to go.
I don't know. I mean, I'm curious in this case. After what I just said, I have a little less faith it's going to do well, but I'm going to stick with my belief on that. And I'm still going to stick with the cash on this, but maybe not even 220, maybe like 187.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to that one in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying, Tyler. Like,
for some would consider that
this was a movie that was supposed to be released on Friday the 13th, and it would have had all the marketing in the world behind it for it to be possibly the scariest thing this month.
Some would say the Swifties are the scariest thing.
Yeah. The Swifties are coming. The
Swifties are coming. Booted it to the point where it might no longer have any effectiveness for the month. I'm sure there'll probably still be people that go and see it just because it's, really upping the ante on the whole possessed girl thing that has been done to death in movies. But is it going to bring anything new to the spectrum, or is it going to do anything that you can't already see in a streaming movie? I don't think so. It's trying to do what Halloween did with bringing back its iconic actress, but even then, it's not Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm sorry.
No, Ellen Burstyn's not.
Yeah,
I mean, she had a strong career all the way through, but there's no power to that name. Not like you said, Jamie Lee Curtis, who basically may endear herself further if she's in season 2 of One Piece. But okay, so we got 2 cashes and a trash. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Sorry. Oh, boy. So, Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, the movie.
Speaking of cash.
Yeah, that's why you notice that, basically it's not whether or not it's cash or trash. It's how cash will this end up being. Because at a very modest $20 million, you need 40 technically to break even on this. The question is, how fast on what night will it break 40? I would say first night.
I agree with you, Tyler. I want to see Saw movie. It's the prequel part 2.
No. You have to understand. That was a typo on Tyler's part. He wants to see the Paw movie. He wants to see Paw Patrol 2.
Paw Patrol. Whenever you're in trouble.
Might be a better movie.
But back to Taylor Swift. This was a smart move on her and whoever her PR people is. It kind of just counter-blocked the horror month and just introvert like, look, guys, I'm going to do a concert, but it's going to be in theaters. And I expect all of you to come see it.
But you know what else, though? And this is where she's making waves on TMZ. there is rumors that she is tied to the greatest tight end in the NFL right now, Travis Kelce, having appeared in the box last night for the Chiefs game against the Bears. And the two of them were leaving together. So TMZ and Twitter exploded as you have one of the current Gronk tight end of the NFL, playing alongside Patrick Mahomes and apparently dating Taylor Swift. So from all of those perspectives, you have something right now that is making this movie even more recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really, I mean, is it a movie? Maybe we'll call it a movie anyway. So, creator, that might be those guys.
Let us get through all the lists and then we'll start.
We'll double back to that one. But yeah, this one, I don't know. I think even this could easily make $500,000. I think
this is going to be cash. It's going to knock me out the ballpark.
It's too much cash. It's more cash than the movie deserves.
Yes.
Well, like I said, the editing part is so easy on this. It's just a little bit of tweaks, a couple things here and there. But, I mean,
Now, the funny thing about this is, and I say this knowing that I have talked to this person yesterday, my friend Ashley, probably the biggest Swiftie I know. She is refusing to go see the movie because she is so upset about how she got jerked around getting tickets to the tour itself.
Oh, well, maybe that's why
she's not watching it out of spite. She's not watching it out of spite, and she believes that, why am I going to go to the theater when it's probably going to end up on Netflix in about a month or two anyways? And that is true. This is not the first time Taylor has had her tours recorded. And if it's going to be one of those things where it does end up on Netflix eventually, there may already be like a subsect of the fan base that's like, well, why are we going to go ahead and bother with it now? If this movie had been made, let's say, and put out 2 months ago, really like going against the convention when all the drama of this Ticketmaster thing was going on and really rode the wave of like the Barbie fandom that was happening in the summer, I believe more people would probably see it then than now. But now there might be people that are just like, I'm so tired of it at this point.
Let me ask you that. How old is Ashley? If you don't want to say it, just give me a ballpark decade.
She is in her early 30s.
Okay.
So she's a long-time Swiftie. Okay.
In this case here, the ones that I think we'll see it this weekend are the tweens to like up to 18.
The newer Swifties.
The newer ones, the obsessed ones, 18, even say 21 and under. They will see it this weekend. They will break down the doors to see this weekend. They will be like, I will see it here, and then I will see it on streaming. So they won't wait it out because in this case, a lot of them don't really have the life of say 30 something would. So they have a little more availability in their schedule. My point being,
like I said, wow, AMC Mountainside, they got one time slot available.
Nice.
Man, you are really obsessed with like Mountainside. Like, hold on.
No, yeah,
hey, that's a nice theater, man. That is a really nice theater.
Well, hold on. Let me just.
One time.
Let me check my local theater. Being that we're all Jersey here, let me see what the Linden Theater has for this sort of thing. So now, what date are you actually looking up? Day?
Friday the 13th.
Okay, gentlemen, hold on one second. While you're doing that, I am trying to figure out what's being worn right here by Rob Manning. I don't know. He's got a smile on his face. Oh, okay. All right.
Hey guys.
So glow stick glasses.
Yeah, and he's on a green. He's got a green.
Like he's trying to act like on Fearless Beauty.
And that's an obvious green screen.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah. I will be 100% honest. If it wasn't thanks to Ryan, I wouldn't be here right now.
Okay.
Okay, what's going on?
Because of Ryan's comment.
I had nothing to do with this. I don't know what happened.
What happened?
You commented in the group chat, and then that reminded me that we were supposed to be on, and I've been cleaning. I've been cleaning all day comics, and I forgot it was even Monday. And then I said, "Oh no, I'm supposed to be on a show right now." So for anyone that missed me, hi, I'm here. Welcome, and yes, I did a green screen because
By the way, this to add more fuel to why this is going to do really, really well.
Oh yeah, this is
the AMC in Paramus, by the way, Garden State. So in this case here, you can get You can get basically while supplies last a Taylor Swift Eras Tour popcorn bucket and cup, a free mini poster, a rented theater and party like it's 1989, private theater rental. So this is just this one alone.
And that's pretty cheap for the price.
Yeah.
But suffice it to say, they're going to make that money like that.
Yeah. Those are going to sell out.
Hardcore.
Yep.
You know?
Wait, let me see, because it's only showing me in my area.
And I know I just got here, but that is definitely going to be cash and no trash.
100%, yes.
100%.
No disagreement.
Now, see, I'm looking at my local theater here in Linden for Friday the 13th, and between the IMAX, the Dolby, and the Laser, half of them are sold out. Half of them are pretty empty.
For what, the Taylor Swift?
I think it's just the fact of, like, you know, the later showings versus the earlier showings.
See, AMC Garden State's not that, you know, has some availabilities also.
Yeah, so I think it's again, it's pretty much going to be one of those things where it's like, yeah, there are the hardcore fans that are definitely going to see it first thing as it premieres that evening. And then you'll probably get the occasional people that's like, okay, want to do a gals night? Yeah, we'll go see the movie.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Don't get me started with Texas.
We back to Texas again?
Why, did they shoot this in Texas too?
No. Texas all-day time slots for Friday the 13th is almost full.
By the way, I just want to mention something. Tyler posted this about seeing a Friday the 13th movie on Friday the 13th. I used to sleep at Camp Crystal Lake when I was a kid. Because the Boy Scout Camp Novi Bosco in Western New Jersey was where they filmed the first two movies. So I slept in the actual, campsite where they were murdered. And that was kind of creepy.
Camp Crystal Lake is the Jersey locale.
Dude, damn straight. Yeah, the first two movies, Crystal Lake was Camp Novi Bosco in West Jersey, which was short for North Bergen Boy Scouts. And yeah, when you go there, it's like, okay, this is Friday the 13th. You're a kid. You're kind of insecure, maybe a little nervous. And then you got all the teenagers who know this already and know you're already shitting yourself in fear. They're very supportive. Let's put it that way. So
yeah.
That's how it starts.
It is a cool fact after the fact. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, but I'm looking at trying to find a theater in United States that is not.
I will be right back. Apparently my phone, I forgot to plug in the laptop. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm going to try Orlando. Let's see how it looks.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So, audience, trying to see how it looks in other states when it comes to this film.
How does Arkansas look after you look at those?
Yeah, how does Rob's state look? Like, a lot of people go, well, I mean, you can look for that, Rob. You know the locations around you.
I don't have an AMC near me, actually, but I was just curious.
Well, no, I mean, but I'm sure your local theater, you could probably go on that website and check it out.
They don't actually, my theater doesn't let you.
Oh, that's right. They don't pre.
That's right. Yeah.
But I may go to my theater and be like, yo, I need 2 tickets, and I'll just take somebody.
You're not going to go by yourself to see Taylor Swift? I mean, don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous. My God, yes.
Yes, but I don't think any of us want the stigma of being the solo guy at the Taylor Swift movie.
Exactly.
No.
And if anyone did, I'd be like,
that's why they had those theaters back in the day when it would be like.
What you have to do is actually you have to probably go in with like a notebook and a laptop and like copiously take notes like you're a critic, because then you can maybe pan it off a little bit that maybe you're not there as a perv, you're there on work related reasons.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if I do go watch it opening weekend, I'd be watching it for you. What
day?
No matter where you go,
there you are.
States.
Arkansas sold out?
Yeah, almost. All the movies, theaters in the United States are almost.
Where are you checking this at?
Almost sold out.
Where are you checking this at?
I'm checking on AMC, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm searching all states, cities. And all
multiverses. You're checking Earth 12793.
Nah, I ain't checking.
I'll message my movie guy after this and see. I'm gonna ask him how sales are doing if they're already sold out.
Okay. 42601.
A lot of
you can't online, but you may be able to actually go there and buy your ticket. So I'll ask.
The simple fact of the matter is, this is putting a cramp into all things scary for Halloween.
It is. It really is.
Nothing scarier than the Taylor Swift army.
Taylor Swift
what?
entourage.
Yeah.
Yes, but you know what? That's not what the Irish were thinking when they first created this holiday. My people who first created Halloween,
Hey, I'm Irish
back
too.
on the island,
Okay, don't you be dissing the Irish there,
scariest
young man.
things were demons and witches and banshees and fairy folk. This is not fairy folk.
Ryan,
this is just Swifties.
Okay,
Ryan,
actually, I got a question. Very important question. October 30th. What do you guys call it, including Arkansas? What do you call it?
Halloween.
Goosey night here.
What? Halloween.
Wait, what?
October 30th. What do you call it?
Oh,
No, 30th. Mischief night.
Okay.
Mischief night.
30th is just October 30th.
No.
You guys don't have any.
You don't have a
yeah.
What?
Mischief night is not necessarily like a usual thing. Either it's Mischief night
or
Devil's Night
or Halloween Eve.
Well, if it helps,
Yeah.
I'm in a Bible-Belt state, so we don't have that.
We have say here in North Jersey where I am, it's Goosey night.
Yeah, I've never heard that terminology at all.
Hey, what?
Goosey night.
What?
Yeah. Where you go
What
out and like throw like toilet paper in the neighborhood and maybe like
You do that on Halloween.
No, you do that.
No, you do that Halloween Eve.
We do that the day before.
Well, I know people that do it on Halloween. You do it. I've never heard of people doing it.
Oh, then you're just wasting time doing that when you should be getting candy.
Exactly.
No, you do it after you trick and treat
Vandalism or
because you
food?
go to the houses that didn't give you candy, and then that's when you toilet paper their
Well,
house.
see, in Jersey, we do it a little bit differently. We send a message. This way they know. If they don't do right on Halloween, there's going to be more problems.
You got to understand, we got a guy who can take care of certain things for you, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, we know this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna introduce you to him, okay? You're gonna like it.
Joey Paper Rolls.
Yeah,
You call Joey Paper Rolls. He gets you what you need. You need toilet paper, he's got it. You need rotten eggs, he's got it. You need a chainsaw to take down somebody's tree and possibly use a branch to knock over the door. He's got you. He'll go and get Vinny for you. We have things set up to a way so that this way we make sure that the candy is prime.
Exactly. Apparently in Delaware, they actually arrest you for it. Yeah, but no.
That's Delaware.
Over here, it's like you shave a cat.
You give Tony D's. Give Tony D's.
Yeah, Joey Two-Ply. We got Joey Two-Ply over there, you know. He ain't giving you the crappy one-ply shit. No, he's giving you the good stuff. He's giving you the stuff that's basically like, like basically wiping your ass with a piece of wood chip.
Let me show you something. Look, gumbuck.
Smooth like a baby's behind. Like,
yes.
By the way, we have gotten so far off course at this point. We were talking Taylor Swift.
This is some
your guys in Chicago, they wish they had it like this.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You think that Al Capone that Al Capone guy was crap. It's nutty all the way.
This that good stuff. Tony Montana's good stuff, man.
Man. By the way, I want to point this out. The last MMA event that we had on Saturday was called Danger Zone. Second one, Push It to the Limit. So we're sticking with the 80s theme on this. Push it to the limit, past the point of no return. Oh, God.
And if that succeeds, we'll do Eye of the Tiger after.
Eye of the Tiger.
Culp might. Mikey might. Yeah. You got Mike Pascal and Mikey Culp. They got this thing done.
Oh, actually. Speaking of Jersey ways of doing things, let's move on to the next movie.
Yeah.
You know what?
Ryan,
Yeah.
just so because of your tangent, I just need to let you know to shake it off.
Bad timing. Next show.
Okay. All right. So let's start this off. Dane Cook recently made news with the announcement that he, at 51 years old, married a 24-year-old. Sticking to the vein of elderly 40 and 50-year-old guys who have a habit of hooking up with people half their age, we have Leonardo DiCaprio in his latest film with Martin Scorsese.
To be fair, Leo doesn't marry them.
That is true, yes.
That is true.
All right, so basically we have the latest Leonardo DiCaprio / Robert De Niro / Martin Scorsese collaboration. I don't know how many times either one of those guys has worked with Scorsese across however many decades. It's got to be 5 or 6 for each of them.
Basically, this is the start of award season, regardless of whether or not you want to.
That's why down there it's like it's $200 million budget, But really, does Martin Scorsese really care?
No, he'll go ahead and he'll shit on the MCU movies continuously, but then he'll do like this. which I'm sure is probably going to be a decent movie.
It's not gonna make it.
I'm gonna
say
not
gonna make its money.
Here's the thing.
You can't blame the MCU. You can't blame DC. You can't blame any of that for taking over the theater, because as of right now, the theater is in like a lull.
The theater will be packed with Swifties.
Yeah.
But in this case, I mean, here's the thing. I have watched Martin Scorsese work on a few occasions. Boardwalk Empire, The Irishman. Very simply, the budget for Martin Scorsese films is whatever he decides it's going to be. You know, and he does not care about budget. He does not care about box office. He does this for the art part of it. Now,
and the awards.
Yeah, and the awards part of it too, sure. But not for like the cash part. He's past that at this point by a long shot. He just wants to make films. And being the old school kind who, like you did say, did trash the MCU and comic book movies and everything, like a little bit of the older generation would, he doesn't care if this is $200 million. You know, he cares about the fact that this is going to get award season. You know, I mean, there was already mullings that DiCaprio may be up for another Academy Award nom. So that's certainly a possibility at this point. And
this guy don't miss.
Dude, you know what?
What's this movie about?
It's about pretty.
That's the main question.
Well,
I mean, I'm asking because, you know, this basically movie would have to make $400 million in order to us to call it cash.
Okay. And I don't believe it will do that.
Well, okay. The synopsis given by IMDb goes as such.
Okay. I was about to say.
Members of the Osage tribe in the United States are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now,
so it's like
the thing is, DiCaprio, his character is married into the Osage family, thus the picture that you see there on the poster. But I also think he's working with De Niro's character to facilitate these murders in order for the white man to get the oil back from the Osage tribe, who is thriving because of this newfound money that they got after being put on a reservation.
I'm gonna stop you right.
Did you say? Did you say this was? Sorry. Did you say this movie was set in the 1920s, or it's about a case that happened in the 1920s?
Yes.
No. Set in the 1920s, based on actual events.
So basically, Pocahontas.
This is not Pocahontas.
Okay. Oh my God.
God, thank you. A Clue reference here. What do you think is run by a man named? What do you think is run by a man named Hoover? Oh God, Clue! It's such an underappreciated movie when it came out.
Just kidding.
I can't believe you said that, bro.
It's not Pocahontas. It's like I said, in this particular
the
case,
adult version. No, I was just kidding.
What you call those films that talk about history, documentaries,
historical fiction?
Well, I was going to say historical or based on a true story. Yeah. The thing that what did Ricky Gervais say that when you have movies like this, they're guaranteed to be Oscar films?
Yeah.
You know, I think going off topic slightly, but you know, when he did episode 3 of Extras and had Kate Winslet on there, he's like, it was this story about, you know, a nun during like the Holocaust, and it was he told her, it's like, you do this kind of stuff, you're guaranteed to get an Oscar. Like 10 years later, she did a Holocaust movie and she got an Oscar. And he was up there basically. It's like, what did I tell you on Extras? So suffice it to say, when you have historical stuff like this that center around special interest groups, instant Oscar bait.
Right.
Yeah.
So we all agree that trash, right?
Trash.
Unfortunately, trash.
Yeah.
I mean, from a financial standpoint,
okay, that's better. From a money box office standpoint. But again, does Marty, and by the way, he goes by Marty on set, go figure. Does he really care? No. Yeah.
No. Because now if the critics start ripping it apart like they did The Irishman, then it'll be a different story. What I'm going to say.
The Irishman was one of the two that I...
Tyler, calm yourself.
We talked about Salk's
last month.
I was going to say, we talked about last month.
Yeah. By the way, that video will be coming out next week on the 29th. I've already got it preloaded, so you can check out.
Yes, because we have to talk about the creator, Saw X, and Paw Patrol 2. Which one is going to
this week, 8 p.m. on Friday. It's going 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. You'll see the Saw X Paw Patrol review. Those 3 did. I was picking up my wife from the airport that day. So, but yeah, in this case here, Marty, when he did Boardwalk Empire, he had 22-hour workdays, and because it was just whatever he felt like doing. Crew was exhausted, but the amount of bank you made on that thing. But in this case,
how dare you cross Martin Scorsese?
Listen, it set a tone for a series that's still very well recognized now.
Yeah.
You know, he directed a few episodes early on. He directed less later on, but it set a tone for this entire series that was critically acclaimed on HBO because the man knows what he's doing. He's got, 50, 60 years. I mean, it's been, 40 plus years since Goodfellas even.
Right.
You know, I mean, you look at it's almost 20 since Departed. I think that was DiCaprio's first film with him. So
I believe you're right.
So that was 06, I think, for that one.
I remember a lot of talk happening about that because of the star-studded cast.
Yeah, and the last 15 minutes of that movie. But yeah, in this case, Leo, he's gonna get the Oscar nom, I'm sure. De Niro might get a Best Supporting out of it. I don't know enough about her in this case. It's
Lily Gladstone.
Is it Lily Gladstone or Tentu Cardinal?
Lily Gladstone.
Okay. She's going to probably get a lot of credit on this too. All right, she did 6 episodes of Billions, but this is the breakout role, definitely. Woof.
Yeah, she's done a lot. She's had a long enough career. I think it goes all the way back to 2012. But it's one of those things where to be a relatively unknown actress, and then to have your name along with DiCaprio and De Niro on a Scorsese movie. I want to see this movie just for her, because I already know what DiCaprio's like. I know what De Niro's like. I know what Scorsese can be like once he has his head out of his ass. But I want to go ahead and see what Lily Gladstone can be. I want to see if this is like the emergence, the breakout of a brand new actress. If Scorsese is confident enough to put this unknown name out there, that's reason enough for me to check it out.
It's an unknown name, but it's supported by, obviously. I mean, you look at the poster there. You got DiCaprio, De Niro, and then Lily Gladstone. Okay, she's the bronze medal.
Right, but there are other actors in this thing that
protected by the names
have been put on.
So even if she sucks,
right, but that's the thing. There's no word about Jesse Plemons. Yeah. There's nothing about Lithgow. There's nothing about Brendan Fraser, who are all in this movie.
Brendan Fraser's in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yes. That's the thing. You see it in the trailer, but as far as the main billing, it's these 3 names.
I may check out the movie, probably not in theaters, but when it comes to DVD, just for the fact that Brendan Fraser.
Like I said, this is a no-lose scenario for Lily Gladstone. Because even if she's terrible, the others will protect her that way. And if she's great, everybody's going to jump on that one hardcore. So she is in a fantastic position.
Lily.
Also, who's Robert De Niro? No, I'm just kidding.
He was that guy in Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The father of the girl.
I was just kidding. I know.
Yeah. He had that basically. He was in that movie with. He was in that movie with that guy from The Hangover too, I think. So.
No. Here's how you know. He's the guy who was in Rocky and Bullwinkler as
like the general,
the great leader.
Fearless leader. Yeah, Jason Alexander and Rene Rosu did not also include that on their resume. Or Link Whoopi Goldberg was in that movie too, but oh god, I forgot he was.
There were a lot of people in that movie that shouldn't have been in that movie.
Dude, that was a thing. Why was that a thing? And when are we going to probably have that thing back?
No, please, God, no.
They will.
Every great actor has their bad movies. I just think now we're getting a lot more from De Niro simply because he's older now and it doesn't matter to him. He wants
actually. I got to tell you a story.
Dirty Grandpa is reason enough to know De Niro has checked out.
Or Comedian, which I told you guys.
I like The Intern. I think.
The Intern was actually pretty decent. It was heartfelt, but compare that to say other things that older actors do nowadays, like Al Pacino doing Jack and Jill. There are just some things you do for the paycheck.
None of us have mentioned he was in Joker.
Yeah. Robert.
Yeah, no, I mean that was fine. He was fine in Joker.
By the way, he hated Joaquin Phoenix in that movie too, because he was sticking.
I get the feeling he
stuck to script, and Joaquin Phoenix made it up as he went along. I was on set when they were filming a lot of that stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this." It's been tough.
Oh, you got to work on that movie?
Right, but it makes sense. I mean, especially for Joaquin Phoenix, who's method acting.
I was supposed to do the second one, but I had COVID, so I had to drop it. Lost about $1,000 too. Kind of pissed me off. Yeah.
Also, I heard there's or I'll message it later. Never mind.
Okay.
So next film, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I'll tell you guys a story.
The most memeable film of the season.
You know, here's the funny.
This movie is going to be cash.
Cash.
No, not trash. Cash.
I think it's only 25 million, so it's a very doable 50 in this case. Right at Halloween too.
And you have Matthew Lillard in it.
That's not the selling point, but it's
again. Where does this love for Matthew Lillard come from?
But here's what I want to say. This is the thing that actually hurt Exorcist, and we talked about that earlier. You know, this is recognizable to anyone under the age of 35, hardcore. You know, you have a demographic of, we'll say, 10 to 35. You got a 25-year age group. This thing is hit for, and at 25 million, double it to 50 to turn a profit. Dude, you're going to crush this thing so easily on Halloween weekend.
So the reason why I brought up Matthew Lillard is because anytime I either have mentioned Matthew Lillard recently, all I hear is about Five Nights at Freddy. Or when I say, oh, there's a Five Nights at Freddy movie, anyone that I've talked to, they said, yeah, Matthew Lillard's in it. So that's why I brought that up. So, and for me, that's enough selling point to go see the movie because Matthew's in it.
I know you got a man crush on Matthew Lillard.
No,
he's a man pretty guy. I'm not gonna argue.
I support people that I've met.
It's okay. It's okay.
I had good
I don't support everyone.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. All Matthew Lillard love aside, what is this movie rated?
I don't know.
I think it's rated R.
No, it can't be rated R.
It is.
No.
The game was rated M.
PG-13. It's officially PG-13 per NBC.
Okay.
For strong, violent content, bloody images, and language.
Okay. That makes enough sense. I was going to say, if it's rated R, you're already going to be losing a bit of the fan base, I think, because you're not going to be able to get into theaters, regardless of what people think.
Yeah, no, if you get a PG-13, you get the teens easily enough.
Yeah. But
they can go in easy.
But I think, really, think about it. Even if it's rated R, you think that's going to stop them, really?
It's going to hurt box office, I think, because you're going to get a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds who necessarily who might get stopped.
See, here's the thing, Day. We have to think outside of the bubble that we live in Jersey. Yes, we live in an environment where younger kids would probably finesse their way into an R movie, no problem.
Kyle, thank you.
Look, regardless of what you think, Kyle, there are theaters out there that hold true to their rating system with the movies. And they will stop people if they think that they are not old enough to go see it. Which means, if anything, they may have to go buy a ticket for another movie, go into that theater, and then sneak into the R-rated movie, which I have done before in the past. But that would hurt ticket sales if the theaters are not willing to sell R-rated movie tickets to people that are too young to see it. But if it's PG-13, now you have a little bit more grasp of who you can sell to, and that ticket sale will show. Yes. South Park movie, look, regardless of what you say, it was on the ball.
Price.
So, yeah, cash.
All right.
No, yeah, 100% cash.
And to be honest, I'm surprised because I know, isn't this movie a heavily CGI movie or no?
No.
I think there's going to be enough of switching between CGI and practical as far as the animatronics.
I feel like 25 million is very cheap to do a movie.
Very doable, yeah.
But
well, you also have to think about it. I mean, the cast alone is not exactly the biggest name cast. The biggest name you have is Hutchinson.
Who?
Well,
and that's not including some of the
PETA from the Hunger Games.
And guys, that's not including some of the social media live streamers and stuff like that that's in the film, like Markiplier and a few other names that I can't think of.
What was it?
Oh boy! So Hollywood is finally starting to realize. Oh, let's go.
Wait, Day, did you work on this movie?
I wish.
Well, you're like, you can't discuss the names, so was a little.
It sounded like you said Markiplier for a second, like you were trying to hide it.
Yeah,
Markiplier's got like 15 to 20 million subs, dude. Okay, that's not just cash; that's cash. You know, because they're going to go and see him. Because here's the thing: this is what I can't figure out about Hollywood yet, and I'm surprised it's taken them so long to come around to this. They're finally starting to understand. Oh, if you have a social media following, throw them in. Why was Lizzo in The Mandalorian? Voila. But you have YouTubers out there. Nope, I don't know why. No one has put Mr. Beast into a movie.
I was gonna say.
You put Mr. Beast, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, Dan Avidan, sexy, long-haired, charismatic, good personality, bad camera, Dan Avidan. I mean,
dude, come on,
dude, he doesn't care, man. Dude, no one cared on the Game Grumps subreddit. They commented on it, but dude, the amount of views that your question about Broadway got on that channel, thank you. But the point being is you have these people that the younger generation can connect with.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Corey he's a social media.
Mm-hmm.
But game.
Yeah, Parkamlier is a great example of that. So like I said, you get somebody like that on your corner. Matt Pat. I've talked about Matt Pat a lot. These guys are so locked into the YouTube community, but you have a cash cow there that it shocks me that these curmudgeony dumbass, old executives aren't like, here's $3 million. Jake Paul, show up in our movie.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, MMA got it. WWE got it. Hollywood hasn't figured it out yet. Nope. The reality is part of the reason why the Scorsese film, this will never happen. Part of the reason why we're not sure if the Scorsese film is going to work is because you do not have like Mark Rober in your film. You throw Scorsese would never do it, but you have somebody like that with a YouTube channel that big. Oh, dude, you will make bank on that.
Interesting.
And because if you do it as a non-union project, then basically you don't have to pay residuals.
So I am looking through the cast list.
I was going to say I got 3 heads. Not even looking at camera right now.
No. Here's the thing. I'm looking at
you this much?
The IMDb, Five Nights at Freddy's. It's interesting the casting that they have. So they do actually have casting for Chica and Bonnie and Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
So they are going to have people in suits doing this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So again, adding to the practical effects of it, which I think is a smart way to go. Practical is always better than CG, especially if you're going to have like that close contact with the creations. So, and besides Matthew Lillard and Josh Hutcherson, you've got Elizabeth Lail from You, who I love her work on that. You also got Mary Stuart Masterson.
Yeah, I saw that.
What season are we talking
what
about?
What the hell? Like,
well, we've seen enough of her ass in Ahsoka.
I'm just saying, Mary Stuart Masterson? They pulled her?
For the girl from You. Are we talking about the girl from the first season?
Genevieve. Or Guinevere, or however you say her name.
Was that first season? So I only know them by seasons. I can't think right now.
She's shown up ever since, but yeah, it would have been someone from the beginning.
Yeah, okay. Because spoiler alert for You, there's usually a different girl every season.
Well, hold on. Let me show this one.
Okay.
Yeah, she's from the first season. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but I remember her look. She's got those big eyes. It's like, which work with these characters. But yeah, whether you see this as like a creepypasta movie like Slender Man, or you see it as a video game movie, there's no doubt in my mind the fact that this is coming out days before Halloween, it has to.
Oh yeah,
it has to make cash.
Now, who thinks it's gonna pass 100 million? Because I know Scott said an easy 50, so I'm curious to see what you guys actually think.
I can make that.
I know we either usually say this is cash or trash. But what do you guys think?
It'll pass 100 million, but it'll take a couple weeks. It's not going to do it in its first week.
I'm going to take this a step further. I'm going to be ballsy on this. 350.
You said pass.
Really? Because then we're talking like the entirety of its run, and it goes into November.
Yes, 350 by the
Do you
time
think
that
people
thing's
will
done.
still be watching this by Thanksgiving?
I don't know if it's going to still be running by Thanksgiving, but
depends on. Okay, so I know depends on if like you said, Markiplier's in here. If he's advertising the movie, which I know, I mean the strike. I don't know exactly what you guys talked about earlier, but I know you guys kind of talked about the strike. Could he technically talk about this movie now that the strike's it's not over yet? I know they have to finalize the deal, but that is a question. If the thing did get finalized and the actors can talk about the thing, do you think that would help?
Here's the way that this works. The writer's strike has no bearing on the SAG strike. So SAG cannot basically advertise a project while on strike. So WGA and what's happening there has no bearing. So until SAG has a deal, they cannot talk about it. Now, having said that, if they worked out some kind of a deal with Markiplier where it was not a SAG contract, and it was non-union, yeah, you could probably bypass that.
Provided he is in it.
Well,
if anything, it might just be more of like an uncredited cameo.
If he's a background actor, you could pay him non-union rates or some kind of a special ability, pay him $1,000, whatever. And then yes, legally you can circumvent the SAG thing if he never signed a SAG or Taft-Hartley contract. Yes, it's possible. Now
I will say this: the week after Halloween, the weekend that follows, there's really nothing.
That's what I was thinking.
There is nothing coming out except maybe what happens later with Meg Ryan returning to theaters.
And a lot of kids
so
are
that's
like,
definitely
who?
not going to.
Kids be like, who that?
But 2 weekends after that, you do have the Marvels coming out.
I don't think that's.
So I feel like that's going to take some of the steam away from Five Nights.
Dude, I'm going to go right out on this one. I'm jumping the gun. That is going to be a bomb. That is coming in. I'm hearing $275 million on the Marvels right now, and nobody gives a crap about it.
Depends on what.
See it.
I want to see it too.
You may be alone though, but you'll see it.
I think people see my poster here. My little poster here.
No, I see a giant.
No, because your monitor.
Were my fingers lagging?
Your monitor's blocking.
You have a giant black screen blocking there.
Yeah.
Yes. God damn it! All right. Yeah.
Okay, that's better. Yeah. Okay.
That's my Marvel right there. That's Ms. Marvel right there.
Yeah, dude. It's not gonna do well.
The only way.
Say what you will about.
I will.
The casting of it and everything.
Nobody cares about Marvel anymore. Nobody cares about Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, or America, whatever her name is, or Monica Rambeau. You have to see 2 series and a movie to be caught up on this thing.
The only way I think the movie will do good is if the rumor of Rogue making an appearance in this movie is the only thing that'll save it.
It won't make a difference, I don't think, because people are burned out on Marvel.
But if you bring the X-Men, I don't know. I really think if Rogue gets announced or Rogue and kills Miss Marvel, because that's what happens in the comics.
That's true. Yes.
She doesn't kill Miss Marvel. She puts her in a coma.
Yeah. Per Mystique, by the way. I think Mystique ordered that, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
She doesn't kill because that's what I've heard from multiple. Okay.
No.
I was told.
Put her in a coma.
No, because she eventually comes back, but she comes out of the coma and she's pissed.
Well, damn straight, dude.
Because that's what people have been theorizing is that's how they'll get rid of Captain Marvel is Rogue will come in.
And therefore save Brie Larson's paycheck on that and then the cost on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, will it be a good reason to have like Spectrum and Ms. Marvel, kind of like step up their game as far as being in the MCU? But
dude,
again, that remains to be seen.
It's $275 million, which means it would have to do 550. So,
and the weekend after, oh boy, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I don't think this is going to be affected by that much, But anyway, that's
but
topic for
the weekend after that is going to be the Hunger Games prequel.
Yeah, nobody cares about that.
That actually looks good.
Is Randy Marsh singing the theme again? Yeah. Hunger Games.
I'm excited. Peter Dinklage is in it.
Sorry,
I have never seen.
I'm not being harsh, but nobody really cares because it's like, what? We already finished the whole saga. Now you're doing a prequel.
Yeah, give a backstory. Why not?
Squeeze everything you can out of the Hunger Games.
I'm gonna go see it.
Should we just do a November cash or trash right now? It seems to go in that direction.
No,
because do we have any other movies to talk about?
The runtime is going to be like 90 minutes, Tyler. It's going to be the shortest.
Just over an hour.
You're talking about Five Nights at Freddy?
Wait,
no, Marvel's.
Marvel's is
for
only
the
an
Marvels.
hour and a half.
Marvel's is going to be 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half.
That
Which
it's going to have a nice
$275 million. Like, how the shit do you pull that off?
I mean, people may want to go just for the fact that it's only an hour and a half. That's our lowest runtime for a Marvel movie.
That usually does work for soccer. So
yeah.
I mean,
get them in, get them out.
Because literally, isn't usually every single Marvel movie at least 2 hours usually?
Yeah.
Sometimes 3.
And that's the importance of like things being shorter, especially when say like movies or things that you just want to go ahead and spend your time on. The shorter a movie is, and the most you can get out of it in that short amount of runtime, plays better for something to make enough money. If you are unsure whether or not your movie is going to do well, you make it as short as possible so this way it can get as many screenings as possible.
Yep. Okay, what's next?
All right, I have one topic that I want to mention in this case. So word has broken down in the Dragon Ball.
Of course it's Dragon Ball.
Dude, you know what? Listen,
Go ahead, Scott. I'm a Dragon Ball fan.
So we have a new series apparently coming next year called Dragon Ball Magic, which is not considered canon, much like Dragon Ball Heroes, where Goku and Supreme Kai will be turned into kids and have to travel the universe in order to get their bodies back. If this sounds vaguely familiar to another Dragon Ball series from about 25 years ago, GT. It's because basically it pretty much is. This is Dragon Ball GT apparently all over again, rebooted and redone. But the fans are kind of pissed.
But now he has a buddy.
Well, yeah, in this case, instead of basically Trunks and, grown-up Trunks and his granddaughter, it's the Supreme Kai. This is actually apparently pissed off some of the fans because it's keeping from like new authentic Dragon Ball content, like, anything past Super or Z, and it's this non-canon series. So it's like 12 to 15 episodes, 30 to 40 minutes in length, and airing directly on Crunchyroll, which a lot of fans are like, nah, we're not going to do that.
I've been waiting for Tower of God Season 2 for the longest time, but Crunchyroll is investing their money into this.
But what's funny about it is, and this is how it's worked with a lot of the stuff. This is, by the way, how I saw Dragon Ball Super when it was still, airing in Japan. You wait, like, if an episode airs on, say, Monday night at 9 p.m., you wait until like 9:20 and it's suddenly on YouTube. So I guarantee this is going to pop up on YouTube as much as the algorithm will not be able to catch it. So that's how I think a lot of people are going to. That's how a lot of people I think are going to circumvent having to pay Crunchyroll to watch this, because they're just going to basically sneak it through YouTube.
Well, the thing is, especially when it comes to like, I mean, nothing against Crunchyroll or anything like that, but Dragon Ball, since Super has ended, the majority of new stuff that people have talked about and watched in regards to Dragon Ball has been on YouTube. Has been like more off the continuum, fan-made sort of stuff. So why are people going to bother to watch something which is derivative of what was at one point the grayest spot in the Dragon Ball franchise?
People are so enamored now and so impressed by the fan work that's been done. I mean, this isn't fan work, but Super Dragon Ball Heroes is a fantastic fan service series. It's not canon, but it's more based on the online game. But it ended the last episode, episode 50, with 2 different universe Gokus going at it. One as Super Saiyan Blue and one as Super Saiyan 4, to finally determine which one was stronger. It's this kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff
that Death Battle does.
But it was one of those things. But in this case, it was all voiced by the original voices, Bosco Nozawa, all the rest. So it felt right. It felt nice. Episode 51 is coming out in a few days. People are more interested in that than they are in something like this. People are more interested in like Dragon Ball Kakume or Dragon Ball Multiverse, which I love. The fan comics, because they were so well done. They're so well written, and drawn and all this kind of stuff, that it has such a nice feel that it draws so much into it.
It just boggles my mind. There are so many other things that we could be getting on Crunchyroll. Like I don't know about anybody else, but I keep up with the current anime spectrum. Even though I've been marathoning One Piece like nobody's business, and I just finally got to Fishman Island. That's how far I've been watching all this since August.
Hi, Day.
But
I mean, if you look at something like this is Dragon Ball Multiverse. You can see how well this is animated here.
Right.
Oob having a conversation with Bobbity and talking, and in this case being healed, his arm being healed by Super Boo from a different universe who won and killed everyone in his universe that he chose to. And it was just, like I said, it was pure fan service, and they've been doing it for like 10, 15 years now. So people are a lot more interested in that than they are in something like this.
And speaking of Dragon Ball, we went to Memphis this last week, and I met Perfect Cell.
That voice was actually supposed to be Sean Shamel originally. So
really, okay.
So I don't know. To me, it's crap baskets. What is his name?
My brain's
to me, Cell is Devil Artemis from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. But anyway, yeah, Devil Artemis is the name I was thinking of. But anyway, like I said, we got another one coming. Whatever, don't care. So.
I can see why you really wanted to bring it up. Your passion behind it is just so emphatic.
It's like it is definitely a series. It will have people watching and people saying things.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I understand the idea of like anime wanting to continue. I mean, Dragon Ball is a fantastic series for some people, and is an annoyance for others. But I can understand wanting to continue the saga however you can.
It's
but
the biggest anime on the planet. You got to admit that.
Yeah.
Does it annoy you, Ryan? Is that why you said that?
It does.
Dragon Ball annoy you?
Really does. It's not that it necessarily annoys me that they're doing it. If anything, it's par for the course of why they would do something like that, especially with bigger franchises. I mean, I've seen offskirts of Attack on Titan. I've seen offskirts of Sailor Moon. Anytime an anime series gets big enough, they're going to go ahead and try to spread as much into other markets as possible and try to extend things. Look, Attack on Titan has been on its last season for like 3-4 years now. All right,
dude, I know. They finally released the trailer for the final movie.
They will.
Oh,
my
God,
problem
that
is
so much.
that also
now
takes
you
away...
understand my pain.
Yes, but the problem with that is the anime business is already so crunch timed as it is that by doing this sort of stuff, you take away from things that the fans actually do want, that they actually do ask for, things that are maybe not better written, mainstream, but they want a continuation of it. Thank God, next year I'm finally getting a season 3 of Konosuba. I love that series.
Oh,
give me Darkness any day. But exactly, yeah. How many times are they going to split that thing up?
All right,
but it becomes the point where, because for whatever reason they think we want more Pokemon and more Dragon Ball and this and that, like, you get away from the good stuff, and even things that maybe just might get overshadowed, you don't get to see. It's kind of like I hate to say it, it's kind of like comic book movies in cinema, and how independent movies or smaller movies don't get the right amount because these massive blockbuster things take over. And yes, I see him with his Goku hair, looking like Super Saiyan nuts.
Wait.
I got something to say, please.
Go ahead, say it.
Because you've been ranting all... Okay.
I had maybe 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay. But just to let the audience know, there is a new Netflix series that is an anime, and it was something that we all been waiting for the longest.
Yes.
New Castlevania?
New Castlevania.
No.
Oh,
not Castlevania. Mishima.
Based
on the PlayStation 2 game.
Okay.
Oh, Onimusha.
Onimusha, yes. We've been waiting for the animation for that game for the longest. We've been waiting for a series, and we're finally getting it on Netflix.
Have we?
Yes.
By the way, I just want to point out that Rob's hair kind of bears a resemblance to a certain other Dragon Ball character.
Oh my God, no!
Yeah, no, that's not good.
But
sorry.
This is
but no. Who's been waiting for Onimusha? Like, I enjoyed the games when I played them on PlayStation, but I never once thought about like wanting an anime for it, especially after the 4th game.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say on this. Again, I've been into anime way longer than all you guys have. It's been over 30 years for me. So the problem with Dragon Ball is the fact that every script is the same. We fight a new enemy that's stronger than we've ever seen. Deus Ex Machina, somehow we pull out a win out of our ass. Every storyline, lather, rinse, repeat. There is so much good content out there. Hajime no Ippo, you know how I feel about that series. I started in a manga called Ori of the Dragon Chain. It is fantastic. It's medieval in feel, sort of swordplay, magic, things of that sort. And it has a really good storyline that's very human in this process. It's about a kid who's getting repeatedly bullied at school because of lies that were made up about him. And he's trying to survive in this, fencing school and just trying to adapt to that while still trying to learn how to become a better fighter and at the bottom of his class kind of thing. So I'm enjoying it from that perspective. There's so much content out there that, like you said before, gets overshadowed because, Super Saiyan Blue Goku is in the Macy's Day Parade. And again, like I said, Dragon Ball is one of those things that you pee all over, when there's new content, but at the same time, it's the same damn content every time.
Right.
Goku beats Frieza, Deus Ex Machina. Cell is beaten by Gohan, Deus Ex Machina. It's like all these wins get, something pulled out of their ass, with the exception of the Vegeta fight. That was one of the best fights they had under there, because it was not Deus Ex Machina, it was teamwork.
Facts.
But hey, Dave, you had something to say?
No, that was it.
But there's so much good shit out there that never gets decided. I'm sitting there watching anime intros right now across like 30 years, and there's hours of stuff. I will never get to all of it, but by God, I'd love to if I had the time.
Oh, yeah. No, I have an entire playlist on Spotify of just technically 2 playlists. I have one that is for workouts. That's my anime workout.
We do the same exact thing. Thank you.
And then I have one that's called Animello, where it's just the more calm rhythmic beats that you get, mostly with
like a lo-fi,
closing.
Maybe. Like a lo-fi?
Lo-fi a little bit, but it's one of those things where there's just so much out there that when you find your favorites, you want to tell people about it. It's kind of like the same way in movies. If you have like a little independent film that you watched when you were a kid, like I've told people about Space Invaders, like you would not believe. No one has seen this movie, and yet it played every October on Channel 11 around here. And it's like, yes, okay.
That's a really good show.
Yes, my hero is
I am a hero,
but my hero is almost getting
My
into that
Hero's
same
really
era.
good. Fairy Tale's really good. Demon Slayer's really good.
Demon Slayer I'm into now. Yeah, like I said, but Demon Slayer also gets
Fairy Tale. I'm still waiting for
the 100 question
continuation.
Yeah,
that's supposed to have a continuation too. I love me some Natsu Dragneel, man.
Yes.
But see, I think part of the reason why a lot of people are getting to anime more is because it doesn't have the Hollywood tropes in it. It has more of a, it has a little bit of Japanese flair.
It has other tropes in it that the fans like.
But that's the point. That's the point. Sometimes they bypass the politics aspect of it and just give you pure unbridled entertainment. There is nothing in like Demon Slayer that basically has a political edge or an ideology or anything. Is just basically he has swords, he kills demons, teams up with his sister, and why is she a demon also? Why is she the way she is? So there's intrigue, there's mystery, there's action. And you know what? You shut your damn brain off and you enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just to let you...
United States of Smash!
Sorry, Dave,
I am here.
Go ahead, Dave.
So, just to let people know, yes, this past weekend, I was the director. Like ChemFest has started and ended. We did have panels, and yours truly was one of the people to be in one of the panels, monitor and be a host and guest.
Plus, he does it all, folks.
I had to do it all. And we did a dub workshop showing people how it feels to be behind the mic doing voiceover.
Okay.
And trust me, we are going to do it again. I'll keep y'all posted, but this is a trend now. So voice acting is coming back.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want tips?
Let's go.
Wait.
Let's
What tips?
That was my mom speaking, and I was like, I know tips of voice acting, but I'll probably hit you up with what you got.
Yeah.
Got you.
Basically, here's what I'll say about voice acting. This is what I'll be honest. This is a pet peeve. I'm just going to bitch for a second. When people are like, it's so much. All you're doing is speaking to a mic. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No.
The big difference between here's the thing. People don't realize about voice acting is you record all of this stuff before they animate.
Yeah.
They'll do a little cleanup at the end, but all you have is a script and someone's idea in your head. You have no visual. When you go to a film set, you can see the layout. You can see the set dressing. The action. You see all of that. When you're doing voice work, you might be in a different state, a different country than the people you're voicing with. And all you have is the voice director, the script, and your imagination of what it should look like. And you work your entire script off that.
Or sometimes they do have the cartoon. It's just the fact that you have
if it's a dub over, sure. Yeah. But I mean, we'll use like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. For example, they did not have anything in front of them. They had to use their imagination.
But weren't they a lot of times with that show? Weren't they together in the same room, or am I wrong on that?
Most of the time, yes, they were. But my point being is that nothing was animated yet, so they would have to grab on. Well, this is what I think it would look like. Maybe this is under.
There'll still be storyboards, but it won't be anything like concrete.
It's not like basically you set foot on a movie set and you're like, okay, I mean, there was a Kevin Smith movie called the 4:30 movie. You set foot there. Everything about it. It's the 1980s. It's about his life. It's about asking this girl out that he likes to a 4:30 movie. This is what, that's the plot. You walk into it and you already understand that. In voice work, you don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
There's no set for you. And this is what pisses me off about people. It's like, oh, all you're doing is speaking to a mic. Bullshit, you're not.
And you still have to have acting skills too.
Yes.
You have to utilize your imagination, and you have to visual yourself as that character.
Yeah.
And the reactions and everything with it, it has to be as natural as possible when you do dub.
And that's why
imagine if you were on set and you had your lines memorized and everything, and then before the camera started rolling, they blindfold you.
Ooh.
That's pretty much how you have to still go about it.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
You still have to have your character set up. You still have to have your purpose. You still have to have your drive. You just can't see anything that's going on around you. You have an idea of what's going on, but you see nothing, you hear nothing, you smell nothing. Basically, you're all in your own head.
Colonel Klink will be like, I do not think.
But
timely.
Dating myself on that reference hardcore.
Yeah, just imagine you with the script and try to figure out things about that character. You have to basically embody that character.
And here's what I'll say. If you did something like, Kathy Najimy would talk about this, but voicing Peggy Hill for all those years, that wasn't that bad because a lot of like King of the Hill was just kind of like walking and talking, or things like that. It was,
those were the characters.
It was basically, it was just Texas. Everybody talks to each other. When you had Batman, you had to, like I said, visualize the entire fight sequence. You had to visualize, okay, Mark Hamill in this case, Joker is running. So how, basically, it's like I said, you have to mentally animate in your mind fight scenes and action scenes. King of the Hill, it's like, dang it, Bobby. It's like, okay, Mike Judge can pull off a dang it, Bobby any day of the week.
Yeah.
But
even Johnny Hardwick, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
He was doing Dale on his own YouTube channel and everything into his death. Like he just embodied that character as much as possible.
I thought you meant usually because Dale was Stephen Root, wasn't it?
No.
It was Boomhauer.
No. Who was Stephen Root? Stephen Root was
Dale.
Bill Dauterive.
Or Bill, that's right. Okay, yeah. I'm off on this. I'm sorry. So.
Yeah, no, I had to remember the name for a second. That's like Bill Dauterive.
I will say two things real quick. If you do want to be a voice actor, there are two things you can go to. I want to be a voiceactor.com or go to Day. And then there's also a podcast called I Hear Voices.
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't recommend doing like a website like Voices or Voice 123 when you submit.
Well,
because they're so oversaturated, you'll never get the job.
I was talking about the website that D. Bradley Baker made. It's called I Want to Be a Voice Actor.com. And it's all the tips and everything that you need to know for the business, and it's done by the legendary D. Bradley Baker, which you would know as.
Yeah, I think Stephen Bloom has something similar to that.
Or maybe it's Stephen Bloom. I thought maybe it's Steve Bloom instead of D. Bradley Baker, but somebody told me it was D. Bradley Baker the other day. So
Steve Bloom has it too.
A lot of them do at this point because they, you know, they teach it, especially with, you know, if there's any SAG projects not doing any right now.
Right. Oh, also huge shout out. We were talking about weekends. It was Scott's birthday. He turned 92. Yes. And we just want to congratulate you on being 92, sir.
Thank
you.
Yes.
For your age.
Everyone here happy birthday. Weird Al Yankovic wished him a happy birthday. You should have seen it.
That was awesome. Love it. Oh my God, I was so happy with that.
And we're going to do it the right way. Let's do it, audience. Let's do this all together. Come on. Y'all ready?
Yeah, do it all at home so this way people can wonder what the hell you're doing.
Happy birthday to you.
You guys are so slow with this too.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday, dear Scott. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I'm so touched. You know. Yeah, actually, that was really sweet of you guys. Really, I mean
that was terrible. What were we doing?
You know what? Okay, but you know what? The gesture of it meant a lot. You know, because my, in truth, 48-year-old ass appreciated that.
No, you're 92. Remember?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm old. I forget my age. So
yeah, inside joke.
But no, I appreciate you guys doing that. I appreciate sending the messages, all this kind of stuff. It was really awesome. So
now let's just make sure he remembers it for our birthdays when they come up.
Yeah,
that's what Facebook is for.
Well, in that note, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm Rob. That's Day. That's Ryan, and that's Scott. And we're Tales from the Film Set.
Hey, Day. No, hold on, Rob. You're stealing it while Day is present. It's not even like he's not on the show at the moment.
I think, we're going to have to do like 1, 2, 3 shoot like at the top of the show to find out who gets to close it.
Yeah. But it's okay.
Seriously.
But
just kidding. Go ahead, Day.
No, it's cool.
Wait. Rob has your blessing, Day?
Yes, he does.
Okay. That settles. I'm fine.
Then I'm Rob.
Scott, end it now.
That's
End it now.
Ryan, and that's Scott. And this is Tales from the Film Set.